What's going on this morning, family? Black Phoenix checking in. Just wanted to talk to my young welders briefly this morning about you can get more with sugar than you can with salt. That's an old Southern term that I grew up um, hearing, but didn't really understand the concept. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, but as I got older, especially once I got in my 20s, I started understanding more what it really meant about how you approach someone, how you give your energy out, how you greet someone, how you ask for something. You know, a lot of times, for some reason, we tend to go to some people like they owe us something. And one thing in life I had to realize just growing up and facing my own flaws and my own um, character defects that I had to work on, and just growing up as a man that no one owes you anything. You know, even in society today, if you look at the laws, you know, the parents have the right to abort the child beforehand. So even the parents necessarily don't owe you nothing just because they created you. You know, you got parents that'll create the child and then they'll give the child up for adoption. So having this thought of someone owes you something, to me, I think is a hindrance. And sometimes you can give a bitter approach when you're trying to get something from someone. Like if you come to them in a way where like they owe you something, they're gonna instantly shut you down, especially someone that's seasoned that know that, hey, I don't owe you nothing, man. You know what I mean? At all. If you can come to me a little bit better, I might assist you in that area or not. But by the way that you carry yourself and you approaching me, I'm gonna close the door. And it goes back to the saying with the sugar and the salt, because you're gonna get more with how you greet someone with a kind word, um, humbly asking for some information or for some guidance. You just don't demand, I want this, or come to someone like, well, I seen this. What do you have to offer me? What you mean? What I got to offer you? You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous sometimes, man, with the approach that we give um, some of our mentors, some of the people that we look up to. You know, I had to realize don't nobody owe us nothing, man. Don't nobody owe me nothing. You know, I wish my relationship with my father was a lot better. With a lot of my family members was a lot better, but they're not, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm in a situation where you just have to accept certain things, but those things that you can make better, you make better. You know, I believe that that's all in our control to be able to um, change that situation for us, change that narrative for ourselves. But we got to learn how to come to people a little bit better. You know, the millennials, a lot of times, I'm noticing that the communication level as far as knowing how to communicate isn't that well, you know. And nowadays, people say things online that they know they wouldn't say in your face, you know, face to face. They wouldn't say that to your face. You know, it might be some repercussions instantly by coming to somebody like that. You know what I mean? But hey, man, I just feel like we have to watch our approach, man. If you want something from someone, if you want someone to help you, you know, as the old saying, if you want a friend, you got to show yourself friendly. You know, you can't be, you can't approach someone, you know, like they owe you anything, you know. So I think that you should just be a little bit more humble, because that's salt you throwing on yourself. You know what I mean? If you really want to get to that level. So if you change, and even, you know, the older man, you know, that's a lesson for anyone that still think like that, because just because you older with gray, you 50, 60, 70 years old, it doesn't mean you're wise. You know, you can be repeating that same thing too, you know. So it's just like the saying that say you kill them with kindness. You know, once you know better, you don't have to respond like the person um, who's responding to you in a negative form. You know, you can kill them with kindness because you know better. And it's just like pouring coals of hot, hot coals on their head. You know, it just burn them up because they don't understand why would this person do me like this. And some things that you just have to be smarter about. You know, and I'm gonna be real with you, man. I wish I had someone to tell me some of these things when I was going through my motions and just trying to find like why this or why that, you know. But a lot of things I had to learn just from getting out there. And some things that was passed down to me, some knowledge that I just didn't fully understand, that I had to actually experience it to get the concept. So, you know, I understand. All I want to say is, man, you know, you're gonna get more with salt. I mean, you're gonna get more from sugar. I'm sorry. You're gonna get more from sugar than you will with salt, man. You know, so don't throw salt on yourself. Don't, you know, keep the door of opportunity closed because of your approach, because how you approach people, because how you come to people in a negative form. You know what I mean? So just think about that, man. It's just something to think about. Um, I just wanted to say that because I've just noticed it a lot with some of the emails and inboxes I have received. You know that I just honestly, when I see it like that, when you come to me at that form, I just, you know, don't pay no attention to it. I'm not even gonna respond to it, you know. And I just feel like responding to certain things is kind of like throwing wood on the fire. If you come to me and I can see you burning, I'm like, nah, you ain't finna even burn me. I don't even want smoke on my clothes. I'm not even gonna respond to that. I'm gonna get away from that. I see you on fire. You know, certain things you can tell when people are self-destructive in their behavior and their approach with the way that they venture out and the way that they say certain things to people, you know, especially online. And regardless of what they say, it still shows their lack of self-control and discipline and mental issues, you know. So, you know, a lot of times when you acting out in certain forms, you're just showing who you are, man. You know, especially from someone who's seasoned enough to know the difference, you know. But if you really want some help and you really need some guidance and you really want someone to help you find your direction and your guidance or being independent or starting a business or gaining a trade and turning that trade into a business, man, you have to look at your approach. Your approach can keep doors closed. Many people will look out for you or assist you or help you, man, but it's the way that you come to them. You know what I mean? So we have to change that because it's going to hinder us. And I don't want to see you do bad. You know what I mean? I want to see you win by all means. And I know that, like I say, when I was going through it, I couldn't find someone to guide me or someone to give me the wisdom or the knowledge or just hold a conversation with me like I'm holding with you, you know. I want to see you win, bro. My kings and queens, I want to see us win, but we just have to realize that no one owes us nothing, man. No one owes us nothing. You know, we just got to work hard and we're gonna have to keep knocking on doors and we're gonna have to keep doing what we're doing. And if someone don't come when you feel like they should, kind of lower your expectations, man. That's okay. Things happen. Everybody got a life. Everybody got something going. Just because someone don't respond to you at the time you feel they should doesn't mean they didn't hear you or um, they didn't have their eyes on your situation. Maybe they had a situation going at that time where they couldn't take their eyes off of that situation in order to help you, and then they came back. Because see, the goal is sometimes we would say, man, I was drowning, no one helped me. But someone did because you didn't drown. You just was out there in that water just a little longer. Sometimes it's like that, man. Sometimes you have to fight for yourself until you get into help comes. If help comes, you know what I mean? But if you didn't drown and you mad because you almost drowned, to me, I think that's fine. But you didn't. So just let it go and just move on. Maybe you was out there a little longer than what you thought you was, you know, thought you should have been. So I just wanted to say, man, you can get more with sugar, with your approach, with how you greet someone, with how you ask them for their information that you're trying to get, you know, and break the mentality, man, of thinking that you're gonna get something for nothing, because ain't nothing out here for free. Ain't no handouts, you know, ain't no excuses. I believe, me personally, I strongly believe in no excuses, no handouts. That's like my motto when it comes to my self motivation and me just dealing with, friends and certain people, because I know that we can work together and do anything. But having an excuse ain't gonna get us there, and asking for handouts ain't gonna get us there. It's gonna get you by, and the next person gonna still be in the same situation. And once he ain't got it to give you, you gonna get it from someone else. That's just how people are sometimes. So I just learned that I just try to keep my focus, and I just realized that when I did my time incarcerated, when I did my decade in prison, the reality of the fact is sympathy and empathy. In prison, when you're trying to make it in there, like having that can get you even killed or get you fucked. That's just what it is, man. Point blank, period. And the only two options when you trying to, be in your feelings about everything. Things can happen, man. I just seen it. The best thing to do is just make sure you good and respect others, and learn how to carry yourself, because in there it's a dangerous ground. I've been there. So just from my experiences, you shouldn't have to go through it. If I did a decade and you haven't did time, you should learn from my experience. Why go down and do one if I already did it? No need to bump your head. That's how I feel like we have to learn from one another, man. Like, if you witness another brother or sister go through something and they made it or not, you don't have to go through that if you witnessed it. You're like, nah, I don't think I want to bump my head, or no, I don't think I want to get in that type of business relationship or that type of relationship, or agree to this type of contract, or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel that it's based on how we carry ourselves, and realizing that we're gonna get more with a gentle word, with a gentle approach. With sugar. You know, sugar attracts things. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So we just have to learn a better approach, man, and come to people, even your family. You might have family members that you beefed up and mad about because you feel like they should do this or they should. They ain't got to do nothing, man. You know, get on your game. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in that. To me, I think that's another form of excuses and handouts. If you get caught up in excuses and handouts, it's gonna be hard for you to get over that hump, because you're gonna, for one, always think somebody owe you something, or for two, you're gonna feel like you need this in order to get there. Well, I can't do this because I got to have this. So you stand still without trying to grind or progress to go forward. Me personally, I just don't go for that. Me personally, you know what I mean? I grind. I have to push myself. I have to figure things out. I have to think outside the box. I have to plant seeds in different areas, so that way I can have some fruit later. So that way I know we'll be good later. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come to you and tell you that, man, because I just know that we can get more with sugar. So just work on your approach with the way you approach people. If you want to get to a certain level, if you want to build a certain type of relationship, or if you want to meet a certain person, it's all on your approach, man. So just think about your approach. And if you can learn to deal with the little people better, you can most definitely deal with the big people better. But I get it. We all have good days and bad days, so it ain't like you gonna walk around perfect. That ain't what I'm saying. It ain't like you ain't gonna have a day you're gonna be like, man, I had those days. We all had those days where, life hit us hard and we just have to just make it to the house, and and we can't wait to push the reset button by doing everything that day and going to bed. You know what I mean? So I get it. I just wanted to say, man, I care about y'all, and I want you to win. We can change things for this next generation. We can really um, open up some doors for ourselves. We can build our own business and form of network where we can network with one another. You know what I mean? We just got to get rid of the having excuses, and asking for something for nothing. Like, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying, not ask for something, because sometimes you're in a situation, hey man, I'm in this bind. We get it, but it's the way, it's your approach. It's just what it is. It's the approach, and it's knowing that I heard, I read a statement that said if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. So a lot of times we put ourselves in the bind just we create a situation in debt because we want to look like something that we are not. We want to do things that we're not. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't do due to the financial situation we're in. But you know, we want to get it anyway because we think, oh man, I got this right now, or man, it's coming in. This right here, man, you can't depend on earned income. We know that now. Look at all the people who've been on unemployment and lost their jobs or didn't get unemployment, and this pandemic didn't hit and situations didn't happen. You can't depend on it, but you can depend on your investment income and your passive income and your assets. You know, stocks and bonds. You can depend on certain things of assets of value, but just a job, no. It's a stepping stone. Use it as one. You know, don't get caught up in thinking that this one thing is going to take you to this certain level because it probably isn't. You know. So I just wanted to say that to my young welders out there, my up and coming um, entrepreneurs, engineers, fabricators, designers, installers, all around the wood. You know, my young man who's about to take over the world, my young king. It's all on your approach. If you're not where you want to be at, you can be there. Just check out your approach and be humble enough to you know, when you're wrong. I'm not saying don't. My grandfather used to say, "Don't say you're sorry, apologize." I don't believe in sorry. You mess up, just apologize and move on to those that it mean, those you can, you know. And you got loved ones in your corner, man. If you got someone that loves you, if you got someone that loves you, if it's just one person, let them know every day. Spoil them every day. Life is short. We don't know what we have. We don't know how things might go. So if you got someone, man, let them know that you know that you love them. Life is short. I want y'all to be blessed and do good. Hold on.